Hello, so I'm going to try and do a sort of George Saunders video on this new Deutz for people who are interested. I don't have any fancy GoPros or anything, it's just a phone camera, so it'll be very jerky, but hopefully it'll give you an idea. We're heading into the setting sun at the moment. This screen tells you a lot about the tractor. That's the Headland Management system, which I'll show in a minute. But you can also put your guidance up there if you're using it, cameras, all the usual stuff that all of these manufacturers have now. You can set your engine speeds, so that the cruise control is currently set, which is on this button here, at 9k, so that's just maintaining 9k. At the moment it's in gear 3C, 33 litres an hour at 9k as it's shown there. But if you don't want to use cruise control, you could set your engine revs on these two. And there's all sorts of things you can set, flow rates, and which that sets which spool corresponds to which of these blue switches or this joystick, which if you swap them all about, I'm sure is going to really confuse you when you come to put a trailer on, but you can do it if you want to. So we'll go back to that, where we are. In front of the steering wheel we've got another little screen on the dash, which you can change what it tells you. At the moment it's telling you your engine, your Headland Management stuff there, fuel, engine load there, and you can change them by twiddling a little knob on the armrest. It then tells you how many hours work you've been doing, coolant temperatures, all that sort of thing. And there's also lots of things. If you go into the setup menu, which should be able to do, there we go, you can go in there and change all sorts of interesting things if you want to fiddle with it. So that's how that works. Put that back on there. Well, also I think it sort of works if you haven't got this big 12-inch screen, you can get to most of it in here. Yeah, so you can muck about with your hydraulics in there if you want to. Put that back on there. Okay, put the Headland Management back on. Changes that. You'll see we're doing, we're in gear 3C, 1600 revs. If I twiddle this dial here, which is Eco, we'll probably find it will change up to 3D. It will still maintain 9k, sit at about 1400, and the fuel consumption's dropped by about 3 litres an hour. It's got a lovely 6 litre engine in there that just purrs away, but that does mean on the Headland it can drop to too low a gear and be really jerky, so I found it best to leave that about there, and then on the Headland it's not so unmanageable. Right, so Headland Management, the salesman came and programmed it in for me earlier today, but basically for each one of these functions on the screen, which is slow engine down, operate spool to drop press, lift plough up, slow engine down further, go into reverse, turn plough over, each one of those functions is one press of this black triangle. So here we are coming to the end, and if we get this wrong we end up in the ditch, so fingers crossed. Come to the end. First time we press, the engine revs drop. Second time we press, the press gets dropped off. Don't know if you can see that through the rather grubby back window. Third time we press, we pick the plough up. Fourth time we press, we slow the engine revs down again, which has the side effect of dropping the gears eventually. Then we press it again and we go into reverse, or we would if I had it set on that one. You have to ignore that. If you want it to go in forward and reverse, you have to start off using the buttons on here, not the shuttle, and I haven't managed to train my brain to leave that in neutral and do it on the buttons yet, so that didn't work. But then the next time we press, we've got that on a timer, so over it goes. Then if I had it set right, the next thing it would do would be to go forwards, but I'm doing that manually at the moment. I'm just going to open this back window, which has let all the dust in anyway. So then we're coming round, lining up to drop back into the furrow. And we press it again, the engine will rev up. There we go. Then it will drop down. And then we'll ease past on low revs to pick the press up. Bring that in behind us. And then the next press brings in the cruise control, which is that one there, which has took us back up to 9k and bumped us up through the gears as well because it's in auto. So yeah, it's not too bad. It does take some getting used to. It's probably not as simple as the John Deere system once it's set up, but you have more control because you're telling it what to do each time on that button. So that's that. As you can see, she's pulling it at a fair rate with, I mean, it's very easy working soil, but we're doing 9k. Gonna have to go home for some diesel soon at 1450 revs, 3D. Let's just shut that up again. Out the back window now. So what else in here? There are air vents everywhere, down the side of the thing, down there, down there, down there. Very comfortable cab. If I can just reach around, I might be able to show you the front suspension working. I don't know if I can. Oh no, it doesn't like me getting off the seat. Press the cruise control. If I get off the seat, it cuts right down to slow. I don't know if you can see the front suspension working there, but there's quite a lot of travel. If I could hold the phone still. And I'll show you that when we get outside, but there's a big gap between the cab and the engine bay, which means that it's a very quiet cab. I'll jump out and show you around the outside. So we're just outside the tractor now, and just show you under there that I don't know if you can see that the cab sits on airbags at the end of my finger. And then at the front is on a sort of roller arrangement, so it can rock back and forth there. And then you've got this big gap between the bonnet and the cab. There's a huge gap through there, which obviously keeps the noise and the heat away from you. So that really helps with the comfort. And then down here, your suspension is actually on a sort of cradle. So the axle, this is the axle, obviously sits in this cradle, which is hinged back here. And some kind of electrical sensor there, just handily placed for you to knock it off. And then the cradle sits on two rams at the front, and you can see that's really moving up and down the whole time, not like on our Maxim where you'd think it was broken, it moves so little. And then if we move around to the front, you've got obviously you've got a huge bonnet. Engine block only takes up about a third of the space. Exhaust recirculation and environmental greening rubbish takes up the rest of it above the engine. But then when you want to clean out the radiators, you just pop this little lever here and the whole thing pings open, and you can sort of wobble them all about. They will move back and forth. It's very easy to get in there. Air filters just behind those clips up there. Loads of lights on it. Lights up like a Christmas tree. Probably AdBlue bin there, AdBlue tank. You can fill the diesel tank up both sides. There's one here, there's one on the other side, and it holds loads. It's nearly empty, so there'll be another 300 litres. Usual buttons on the back mudguard, load more lights, and that is about it. Thank you very much for watching.